10 days after our high school graduation, the four of us decided to explore California.
We were excited for this trip, but didn't expect it to become the crazy adventure it was.
This is the 2-week California road trip.
After gathering everyone and packing the car, we set off for our first stop, Yosemite.
We started by exploring the valley.
We failed to get a campsite from the raffle, so instead we got a wilderness permit for a place called May Lake.
After the 1.5-mile walk to our campsite, we were in the mountains at 9,000 feet of elevation, in isolation.
Pure bliss. Later, we took Tioga Pass out of Yosemite,
which was a crazy experience.
We found a campsite just south of Mono Lake and did a nearby hike to Fern Lake.
After a quick scramble at the end, we got a view of the entire valley.
We swam and skipped rocks the next day, then went to Tahoe that night.
Meeting our friends in Tahoe, we didn't shoot much video,
but we summited Mount Talac
and hiked Shirley Lake.
On the last night, we decided to take some photos and videos of the stars to make up for the lack of clips from Tahoe.
After arriving at Lassen and exploring the park, we decided to hike Mount Lassen.
Finishing at 10,305 feet, it was the tallest mountain in the park
and the tallest of the trip. On the way to our campsite, we checked out Bernie Falls.
We drove to Shasta the next morning and realized we didn't have the time, gear, or energy to summit.
So instead, we took some photos and hung out.
Mary Smith Campground was our next campsite, and it looked absolutely amazing.
We spent the summer solstice swimming in Trinity Lake and sitting in the sun.
We spent our next 3 days in Sea Ranch enjoying the ocean and what it had to offer.
We explored the surrounding beach and tide pools, went to the hot spot, and walked down the river to a place where we could swim.
And ended our time in Sea Ranch with long exposures of steel wool at the beach.
We left for Santa Cruz early,
and on the way we stopped at a beach just off Highway 1 with a sketchy descent.
After a quick stop at Pizza My Heart, we made our way to UC Santa Cruz for some drone footage.
Then continued droning on a bluff by the boardwalk.
We finished our day with a stop in Capitola
and a trip to Denny's for our last supper.
The more we look back, the more we realize
this was the trip of a lifetime.
We explored the mountains, lakes, and beaches of California.
From Yosemite to Shasta to Santa Cruz.
These 15 days will stay with us forever.